where you at, nigga? I'm at your goddamn surprise party.
Everybody hide! Hey, y'all, hide!
I wanted to do something different for Corey this year.
Corey, get here. Y'all about to have your motherfucking hiding spots ready.
I'm gonna surprise that nigga with nostalgia.
This nigga Corey not coming.
That's what I've been saying.
You even know where he is?
He was doing something, and then he said he's gonna be back.
Do you know when Corey's gonna get here? I'm getting really tired.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really know much about Corey.
Dang, yo, half.
None of you people are even friends with each other. Come on over, come on over, come on over. We're having a party for you.
My name is Lamar Woods. I'm a co-writer and producer of It's a Party, the film.
And my name is Weldon Wong Powers, and I'm the director and co-writer of the film.
Yeah. So welcome. So I watched a little bit like a trailer for It's a Party. Is it a low budget film or you have a lot of budget?
Yeah, we privately financed this film as a low budget film.
Is it your first film?
First film,
Yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So why do you want to make this kind of content? It's a comedy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's unfolding in a very interesting way because the main character is never almost not there, right?
Right.
So it's about relationship and about a lot of things. So why do you want to make this kind of story, or did you read any books kind of inspire you, or
Good question.
Yeah, I mean a lot of reasons. I think so. Just so you have some background, so Lamar and I grew up together in Atlanta, Georgia, and the film takes place in Atlanta. So very much there's a semi-autobiographical element to this film, and we wanted to portray the kind of setting and culture that we came from.
Yeah. I think we wanted to do a movie about how people depend on each other and how you depend on your friends and when you watch your friends become successful and it makes you insecure. And we thought, what's funny is insecure rappers. Insecure rappers are really funny to me. So they're like, let's just put them all on camera and do a movie about that.
Yeah, it's insecure rapper, very strong, outside image, but very weak, heart.
Yes.
And that's very interesting. And then also, because when we make our first film, if I'm a director, we always want to go back and then root it to where you came from.
Yeah.
So how do you think your film, like you said, represent Atlanta culture?
Yes.
How do you think it represents the culture?
Yeah, I think one, Atlanta's recently become just a center for hip hop, and has been a place in a way that LA has become a hub for people who want to be actors and filmmakers. They all move here, and so Atlanta is sort of turning into that, which all of a sudden now relationships start being based off of who you know, or what can you do for me. So I think that it's connection. So it's, in Atlanta especially, I think culturally it's just a city where people talk a lot.
Yeah.
So it's just we talk so much that we think we're doing stuff, and I think that's something that we grew up around, and we were let's show in this film.
Yeah, we definitely think the insecurity and desperation of LA's entertainment industry is funny, but in Atlanta it's way funnier.
Yeah.
Because you just talk it out, and then
Yeah.
you talk a lot,
Yeah.
and it becomes rap.
Right. And then we rap about
That's how
It
it
all
happens.
makes sense, you know? So, it's because I think for you guys, maybe you make the film and then it's a very natural thing because it's how you grew up. But for us, when we see it, we're like, whoa, it's like that in Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah, it's very helpful for us, to know more about another. We are all in the United States, but it's another culture still.
Right.
So, also, I'm wondering about the casting because you have not a lot, but many actors in the film. How can you tell us about the casting process a little bit?
Yeah, I think we want to talk about that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, so Lamar and I have been working in comedy here in Los Angeles for over 8 years. So a few of the actors are actors that we have known about and been following their careers. We very much wanted to create a vessel for these very funny and talented comedic actors to just present their comedy. So because we made a movie about a party where there's all these different characters, they got to really express that comedic sense and be free to be funny for us. Yeah.
And I think we did something. Olden had a good idea this time. Instead of doing auditions, we would do like lunch. Like we would meet them for lunch, and it was like we would just sort of talk about what we just talked about just a second ago. Like about, man, you know how your friends become successful, and like in a year like insecure about it. And so we would have that conversation with them and see how it almost would resonate with them on just in a general way. And then we'll be like, hey, you want to read this script? And then we'll send them the script after, and then one by one we started building the cast around those individuals, which became a great ensemble cast. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Dee Dee. I've been clean for 7 days.
Oh, nice.
I've been through this a couple of times now. Recovery, rehab. Feels different this time. I'm not just doing this for me anymore.
Hi, I'm Michelle Ang. I'm an actress-producer on the movie For Izzy.
I'm Alex Chu. I'm the writer-director for the film For Izzy.
Welcome. So, since I wasn't able to see the film yet, so can you tell us a little bit about your film?
Yeah, the film is about a recovering opioid drug addict played by Michelle Ang, who her character moves in next door to a woman with autism. And meanwhile, their respective single parents have a budding romance, while the two younger women have a friendship.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So I see the photo, the poster of the film. It's about two Asian families, right? Yeah. So they're neighbors.
Yeah.
And so Asian actors, to be honest, it's like minority here in Hollywood. And then it's hard to cast an Asian actors and actresses, and especially middle-aged, like parents too. Can you tell us about the casting process?
Well, with Michelle, it was, the other three actors, so Jim Lau and Elizabeth Sung, the two, and Jennifer Su, I had worked with before previously. With Michelle, she came in to read for the role, and pretty much right away, I kind of knew she was there was something about. Yeah, it was just, like sometimes, you just kind of know when somebody walks in the room and they've, you're working with them on the script, you just kind of know right away. And then she really, and then, we had lunch a little while later, and then she really, just wanted to champion the film and wanted to come on as a producer as well, and brought her resources and her efforts to it. With Jim and Elizabeth, the two older actors, I've worked with them on prior projects, and they're inspiring to me because of what they've been able to go through. They've been in Hollywood working in the American film industry for decades, and not just survive but thrive, do very well throughout this whole period until now, where now, as we all know, it's like we're Asians in the U.S. are having our moment, so to speak, right? We're coming out into the mainstream, and to see them succeed in this way, to see all their efforts pay off over these last couple decades is really, I'm just so happy for them.
Alex said it's kind of like there are more opportunities for Asian filmmakers, also like Asian actors, but I think it's still very hard for us to, break through sometimes in the industry, very limited, opportunities. What do you see? Like, do you have any advice for, young actors, young Asian actors especially, who want to break into the industry?
Yeah, so it is still hard, like there isn't by any means any parity, but the interest is there, and now, I think people are open to it. I think it's also kind of a bit of a double-edged sword, though, because I think you don't want, how do I phrase this? You don't want to be cast just because you're Asian and they're trying to fill the quota box, you know. You want to be embodying real characters. So hopefully we get to a point where it's about the character and about the story and which actor has the right, you know, energy and synergy to play the character, and not about ethnic sort of skin color. And for the young Asian actresses out there, I'd say, you know, keep doing it, keep collaborating with storytellers. Part of the reason why I was able to be on this film is because Alex was interested in casting, you know, 4 Asian American actors as leads. So if you sort of keep trying to tell your stories and keep collaborating with storytellers, then the opportunities will come.
So also talking about a story, it's a very specific content, I feel like, because, you know, the casting, like the actors are 4 Asian Americans, and it's not one family, it's 2 families, and both of the daughters their problems are very specific too, very unique. Why do you want to make, you know, this kind of content?
I mean, I think when it comes to the addiction, I mean, it's a part of my family. It's a part of my personal life, and so that was a very organic part of it. It was something that's deeply personal to me that I wanted to tell a story about. And I do think, you know, in terms of a larger perspective, like as Asian Americans, you know, we are people like everybody else. We have problems like everybody else. You know, addiction doesn't have a boundary, right? And same thing with disabilities or people with autism. That doesn't just happen to certain people. It happens to everybody. And I think for Asian Americans, I think we have to own that, to say, hey, we have the full spectrum of experience like everybody else does, you know?
I've been clean for a month, as of today. I'd be lying if I said I feel great.